Welcome back. Why am I gaining weight when I barely eat, or why eating lunch is making you gain weight and how to fix it? So, if you are wondering what's causing your hidden weight gain, trying to get to the bottom of it, we're going to help you out. See if you can relate to this. Over the past few years, I lost a lot of weight. I don't really eat lunch at work, but decided I think I could give it a shot. I started eating lunch at work, maybe 500 calories max, and dinner, 500 calories max, and snacks throughout the day, 500 calories max. So coming in at 1500 calories per day. When I eat lunch at work, some snacks, then dinner at night, my stomach is getting huge. I then gained about 7 to 10 pounds after doing this for a few months with lots of exclamation points. Why can't I eat like a regular person anymore? Is my body in fight or flight method and trying to store all of this? I've tried a combination of everything, and basically eating lunch makes me gain weight. If I only eat dinner and some smaller foods, I don't gain weight. What is going on? So that's something I saw online on Reddit. I wanted to break this down for you. It might be something to ask your doctor about because there are some other factors that could be at play that you wouldn't just know from a quick post like this. So ask your doctor if you are wondering or if you're ready. However, there are four things that you should think about and two things that you can try on your own that I'm going to go through in this video. Welcome. If it's your first time here, my name is Reggie. I'm the founder of Fit for Freelance. I help business owners lose weight and feel their best without crash diets or guilt. I've got the Live Aligned scorecard that's free. It's a 3-minute quiz to check your health habit score and learn the best next step for you to take. So if you have these kinds of questions, that quiz will get you pointed in the right direction. Let's get started on this. The first thing, top premier item here is make sure your weight goals are realistic. Some people lose a lot of weight and they get to an underweight and potentially unhealthy status to begin with, or they have a goal that they are supposed to be lighter than maybe their body or environment or habits suggest. So this is the first thing. Make sure your weight goals are realistic. I was talking about this yesterday. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Something to point out when it comes to eating lunch, eating when you're hungry sounds good to me. If you're having a hard time, going through your day without feeling super hungry, or you get hungry and you don't want to skip meals, having a meal or a snack at that time is usually a good idea. What we want to do is include context for the overall picture of your health and make sure you have energy to focus on whatever you're doing, whatever's important to you. So this is a big step. So make sure your weight loss goals are realistic, and then eating when you're hungry is a key. The second thing to consider is easy to underestimate calories. So this person said 500 calories per meal max. How would you want to calculate that, because it's like a small calorie dense meal could get you caught up pretty quickly there. So it's easy to underestimate your calories, and you might actually not be eating that much because the calorie density of certain foods can be a lot higher. So especially when it comes to fried food, foods with sugar added, candy, cakes, desserts, soda is a notorious one. These are things that add a lot of calories, but they don't have a lot of volume. So they condense a lot of energy into a little bit of space. And so you're not eating that much in terms of food volume, but the calorie density is big. So something else to consider is easy to underestimate those. The third thing to look out for, did you add a meal? So if you were having a plan with weight loss and then you added lunch back in, that's going to include calories that weren't there before. So you increase your calorie intake, and you may need to substitute in other areas, given that your weight loss goals are realistic and the other things I already talked about. So that's something to consider. You can't just add a meal and think that everything else is going to be exactly the same. You're going to have some kind of consequences calorically from that. So you want to have that in consideration when it comes to your total diet picture. 4, are you less active and more sedentary than you used to be? Now, this happens a lot when people go through big transitions in terms of, career change, or they leave college, or their kids grow up, or something like that, where they aren't as active as they used to be. And that can contribute to weight gain. So you want to take that into consideration when you feel like you barely eat, or you just added a small lunch. If you were sitting down at a new job even, or, you've moved towns or something, any of that can cause you to be less active and more sedentary than you used to be. And that can contribute to your weight gain. So those are the 4 things to look out for. 2 things that you can do to change it and manage this. First thing, track your calories more carefully when it comes to just calculating them. If you were just estimating as 500 calories max, then it's going to be harder for you to know how many calories are in your food. So you can track it with an app like the Lose It app or MyFitnessPal, where you enter your foods in, even things like your sauces, your drinks. If you have a little snack, anything you eat, a couple Hershey's Kisses during the day, those kinds of things can add up. So if you are wondering, if you say you barely eat, make sure you're tracking your calories more carefully if you're deciding to track calories. I'm not a huge fan of counting calories. I don't have time to whip my phone out and type everything into it. It's not my style. And I want you to know that you don't have to do that if you don't want to. There's other ways to do it. A lot of people don't feel like entering everything they eat into the phone. So the question I always ask, what does a healthy, fulfilling life of your dreams look like? Can you enjoy foods without having to track everything consistently? Something to consider. So the other thing, the other method that you can take in order to deal with barely eating or the perception that you're barely eating is increase your fiber intake. Make half of your plates fruits and vegetables. That's a best practice in terms of public health. And any high fiber foods, beans are also high fiber whole grains. These can let you eat more foods because there are no calories in fiber or water. So what happens a lot of times, people forget to eat fiber or they don't have it included for any number of reasons. But when you put it back into your diet, you can have more food because there are no calories in fiber and water. That's a major key to healthy eating. And if you focus on increasing your fiber intake to 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day, or up to 38 grams of fiber per day or higher, or getting half your plates fruits and vegetables, or eating 5+ servings of fruits and vegetables per day, any one of those are really good ways to manage your eating so you don't have to worry so much about counting all your calories or why you're gaining weight, even though you feel like you're barely eating. So keep that in mind. Try it out. Increase your fiber intake. Make half your plates fruits and veggies. Let me know in the comments what you think of these quick tips to get started, making sure that you are on the right track, managing your diet, eating healthy, healthfully, and then you can check that health habit score below, get the personalized tips for your next steps. And then you can watch the video I made yesterday, normal calorie intake for weight loss, what actually works long term. I'll put that video here. This is about making sure that your goals are appropriate for you instead of, looking online or feeling bad about what's going on with your current habits. So I'll put that video up there. That's today's message. As always, keep practicing. Peace.